Buenos dias. All right. Let's see. Make sure all my buttons are right. So we're doing this way because they're doing some back end stuff. As you guys know, they may have sent out an email. Anyway, they're doing some back end stuff over at Money Morning Live, but the heavyweights never sleep. So one thing I used to do, which I haven't been doing lately, but I'm going to attempt to do it today. So everybody that's here, if you say hello, I'm going to say hello. You're going to be helloed back. So basically, Thomas, Marcel, Audrey, Tim, Roy, perennial sales. That's good. Those are sales that just keep going. Stephanie, hello. Crypto coin growth. What's up? Bitcoin candy. JD, Tower, BJJ. What's going on? Triangles for everyone. For everyone. I won 4 of my 5 pro fights with triangle chokes. Lance, Dale, I won all my fights, but one of them I won to strikes. The rest were triangle chokes. Andy, John, Brian, Lance, Big Kitty, 2 Braids, Crypto Amigos, what's up? Duncan, M2, Kip. Let's see. Some of these I'll invariably get twice, but anyway, hello. Let's see. JD, Thomas, Jerry, Egard, what is it? If I pronounce it wrong, well, words, letters. Dale, Jamie, Stephanie, Amy, Robert, Brian. Okay, that's all I got. So I only see the chat here. I don't see, you know what? Hold on. I think I can bring up the heavyweight chat. Let me see. Digital heavyweight. Ooh. Okay, that's cool. So I do have the digital heavyweights chat for those of you that are digital heavyweight there at that. But it's much easier if you just use the YouTube chat. Steve, hello. Tom, Howard. For those of you that are watching but using the heavyweight chat, you can use either one. I have both chats up, but my eyeball is trained to the one here in the YouTube one. And the reason it's trained on the YouTube one is because that's the one that comes up in StreamYard. So the way StreamYard works is it's another broadcasting kind of platform and lets you send content out to all these other places. But what I see is the chat there. So like when you put a question, it'll immediately come up. It'll come up in both, but it'll come up in the StreamYard one first. Like I see Tower. Let's see my signature finish triangle. Oh yeah. Dave, Ken, D Miles, Marcel, 901 Onion, discrete services. I wonder what services those are. Renee, Jen, Stife. Okay, so if you have questions, and remember, this is only you guys have the link to this. It's not going out public. It's an unlisted thing. So this is just y'all. It's just y'all. Now, if you want a question that won't even be on the rebroadcast, because as people watch the rebroadcast and I pull a question up, they might be able to see it. If you have a super secret question, although if I was answering it, it wouldn't really be super secret, would it? But if you do have such said super secret questions and you want a super secret-ish answer, then maybe you put that in the digital heavyweights chat questionnaire thingy. Steven, what's going on from Torrance? Oh yeah, we love Torrance. That's the first place I actually trained jiu-jitsu. Torrance. Okay, let me get this little banner thing off of here. I cannot find out where to buy AGX or ERG, ergo. So with AGX, AGIX, Singularity Net, the token, you can get that, I believe, at KuCoin. You can get both of those at KuCoin. However, you can swap into AGIX, NewNet, or Singularity DAO through MetaMask. It's an easy swap. Brian asks, if I have 50,000 AGIX tokens to stake, would it be better to split that up over multiple MetaMask accounts? I would have said no a year ago. Now I'm not so sure. I think it might be. I've now broken my AGIX into 4 accounts. there is some whale, some anti-whale machinations in play, meaning people that have tons of tokens, you don't get percentage-wise the same amount of rewards as someone with a smaller amount of tokens. I don't like that anti-whale stuff, but whatever. They're trying to socialize the winnings and all that kind of stuff. So I think, Brian, as long as you can maintain the, you remember your login information, all that kind of stuff, MetaMask, I think it might make sense to have 2 MetaMask accounts. So there you go. Daniel from Houston, what's going on? And I am curious. I'm curious as I don't know why people don't get it with AGIX. You know, I was talking to, for those of you, I don't know if you guys know who Jungle Inc. is. Huge broadcaster in the XRP kind of Ripple community. And he and I have been talking about it for a while, and he's just now started to get excited about AGIX. And when you look at all of the companies that are coming, you go, wait, 4 cents, 5 cents, and what the potential is, it looks real juicy, man. We'll get into it in a second. What is, how many tokens does a whale make? You know, I don't know. Probably, I mean, at 5 cents, not what it used to be. Look, I have like, you know, 1 million plus AGIX. And when it was 65, 66 cents, that was not, you know, that was, well, you can do the math. That was almost $1 million worth of AGIX. Now the price is 5 cents. You can be a whale at a 1/12 of the price. But I'd say 500,000 tokens, probably 1 million tokens is probably whale status. But who knows? I don't even know what that means. I don't even know if it's that important. Nice. What's up, Todd? I was actually there yesterday. Not there. I was in Tampa yesterday morning. Long day. How many? Okay. Bam. What do you use to track trades and help with taxes? By the way, the reason I'm just kind of going through some Q&A, sometimes there's some early Q&A, and I just kind of try to knock those out. But then we're going to get into the crux of it. Today's main thing, obviously, we're going to look at our options trade, and you know, we're going to look at the markets, and we're going to look at where the best options are. But today, the name of the game is, as we are starting out, I think we might be around the bottom. Now, obviously, we have the Bitcoin event that's coming, and we don't know when it's coming, but it is coming at some point, meaning at some point, those MTGOX tokens, and for those of you that don't know, MTGOX was an exchange that standard for Magic the Gathering Online Exchange in 2014. It was hacked. It looks like it was an inside job, mostly by the CEO, Mark Karpeles. He got arrested. All of a sudden, some tokens got found. Long story short, that thing has been in receivership or civil rehabilitation for almost a decade. And those tokens are going to be distributed. And when those tokens get distributed, 150,000 tokens are going back to the community, of which about 90% are already spoken for, sold, pre-sold, agreed to, whatever. But what hasn't, there's probably 10 to 15,000 tokens that are going to hit the market. And when those tokens do hit the market, I don't think Bitcoin can absorb that. This is why I'm telling you guys, don't be nibbling around the edges with our options plays. And I want you paper trading right now, because I don't think the bottom is in. Now, could Bitcoin go to 40,000 before those tokens hit, and then it gets knocked right back down to 20? Yeah. And am I okay with people, myself included, buying Bitcoin at 23, 24? Yes. Because we're going to have a many $100,000 Bitcoin. Now, is that the easiest money in town? No, it's not. I think the easy money are in the layer ones. And I think the easy, although it's further off, is in the AI. We don't know. That's the problem, Stephen. We don't know when. We know it's anytime they'll announce when. We need to know the when, and we need to know the nature of it. And then that gets priced in. And then I think we have a bottom. Until then, we're like, am I trading options via Leverage X? VPN to connect. Ledger X, David. Ledger X. And yes, that is this platform. No, I will not be linking any other accounts. This platform. I was trying to sell. Did I sell it or not? No, it didn't go. I was trying to sell the 22K for about 250, and it was right on the verge of going, like even a day ago. I mean, we're only Wednesday, but we only have 2 days left for expiration. This thing is It looks like this is pretty far out of the money. We're around 24. But if you'll notice, if right now you want to get put into Bitcoin, you wanted to get put in. You look at what the current, we'll get to this in a second, but we're about 24,000. So it's paying you on the 24, 500, 450 to $500. Anyway, it's Ledger X, not Leverage X. We don't want leverage. We don't want any leverage. Leverage, bad. Okay. So let's do this. I use token tax. Okay, there we go. Token tax. Cool. So again, to answer your question, Stephen, we don't know. We don't. You sold two, let's see, discrete. You sold two 21s at 100. Good for you. That's free money. Those are basically dust now. I'd buy those back. So what we're going to do, let's look at the markets. Then let's look at options. Then let's really focus on making sure that as we build up, and this is kind of the main theme today, that as we build back forward in this, and I'm going to regress a little bit because there's some things I need to tell you in why you want a balanced portfolio as we build into what could be a year from now, 6 months from now, 3 months from now, the beginning of a more excited growth phase. I don't think there's bull and bear markets in crypto because crypto is not a fully formed market, but there are definitely growth phases and contractions. We were in a contraction. We may still be in a contraction. I don't think that's behind us. Maybe inflation, maybe the inflation, which we all know is not, but it doesn't matter because what people call it is what they call it. But I think that might have subsided. You saw the print this morning and all this kind of stuff. So long story short, from the trough to the peak is somewhere between a 5 and a 20x. And I've experienced this each time this market has contracted and expanded. Each time, and actually from peak to trough each time, it was a full 20x. Now, and I can kind of tell you because my original investment in crypto was not that much. It was, very meager. And my first go at it was around 20K. It was less than that. It was actually gold. It was some gold coins. It was not much. I'd have to look exactly, but it was like some gold coins and a few bucks extra. And I went from less than 20K up to $1 million, right at 976K, I think was the top on the first 2017 run. Then it melted back down. Well, let's see. I think I went from about 1 million down to about 200K to just shy of 6 million. Now, and this is just purely crypto. This doesn't have to do with equity, anything else. This is just crypto to about 1.5 million. 2 million. But about about 1.5 million. So, but each time you look at that, you look at peak to trough, it's anywhere between like a 5 to 20x of the entire portfolio. So that's kind of in my head how I judge where we're where we've gotten too frothy, where it's too big, where people in their Ubers and Lyfts are sitting there talking about crypto and meme coins and shit like that. You hear people talking about meme coins, that's when you need to go, When meme coins become the discussion and people are like, and you have to be careful not to fall into this, like chasing those stupid meme coins. Nope. Only quality, because it's a different mindset chasing stupid meme coins. And you'll see some people, I put $40 in, I got $360,000 out. And there will be these kind of weird stories that makes you think you're getting left behind. You're not getting left behind, because whenever the markets contract, it goes to zero. Those dudes are right back to driving Uber and Lyft again. Well, they never left, did they? And you still have lots of currency units because you're being smart. The whole point, this is why the heavyweights was made, is so that I can kind of help shape your thinking to do exactly what I've done. So you don't have to outsmart anyone. You just have to you just have to beat your own performance and slowly do better. You got to get out of the mindset of competing. None of us are competing with anyone. If we think of it as far as competition, we're all going to be miserable. There's not much I can do. it doesn't matter how good I am at investing. I'm not going to invest my way to billions of dollars. That's unrealistic. Investing doesn't scale that way. Well, maybe if I had 100 years to do it, but that's just not the way that the world, unfortunately, it's not the way the world works. But I could scale to, my goal is, $100 million. Is that possible? Sure. It's possible. If I get a 5X 2 more times, would it be 2? No. If I get a 5X 1.5 more times, probably get 5 and a 7X. Yeah, if I got a 5X twice, I'd be at my 100. But anyway, point is, you're only competing with yourself. You've got to figure out what's going to make you happy, what's going to make, so you have enough currency units to improve your life. And really quickly, does everybody in the heavyweight chat know to come over here? I know that there's a group. I'm looking at both chats right now. And before we kind of really get started, I want to make sure that people over there in the heavyweight chat realize we're doing the show right here, right now. Let me just say we are live with the link above. All right. And I know everybody on Discord saw it, but I don't know if it was in the heavyweight chat. Hopefully. Okay, Tom, thank you. All right. Let's see. Buyback instead of letting expire. Well, look, you probably made 90%. If you made 75% or better, just buy it back. Now, remember, you sold the 21, if that's right. You sold the 21s at 100. So I'm guessing those are trading at dust. Look, those are probably trading at, what are the 21s trading at? 22 to 70. I don't know, man. It's a little bit gambling, but do you think in the next 2 days we're going to get to 21,000? I can't see how. I don't know, man. 21,000. I'd probably let those go and let them expire. I'd let those go. And by tomorrow they'll be $5 or something like that. You ever get them? Question. If you sell one BTC contract for $500 and it expires worthless is $5 less than the commission you get? No. Yeah. Whatever the commission was whatever the fee was, you subtract that fee, but that's already been done. When you click the trade, like say you sold one BTC contract, you got your $500, it will credit you the difference. So you're already done. You can either buy it back because you're going to pay a tiny fee on each transaction. This will be a transaction fee, but you can buy that thing back. Like right now, if you had sold the 24, the 25, or the 28, or whatever, and it's in the money, and I'm assuming that you sold one. The way that would make it sound is you sold one BTC contract, but you didn't say whether it was a call or a put. So I don't know what side of the fence you were on, but yeah. The fee is the fee, but if you sold one mini contract for 500 and it expires worthless, $5 is what you get and the second you sell it, it's credited to your account. So it'd be 1% of the 500, which is $5. But all you care about right now is learning this process with the very, very, very minimal amount of money or paper trading until you get it. I don't want anybody doing this until you really get it. No, we don't want to botch anything. We want to take our time until we really get this. Okay, cool. Good. Okay, on Ledger X, is there any setting that you need to use to make sure you are paper trading? No, look, you're just looking. When I say paper trading, bro, get some paper and write down your trades and keep track of them. Get like a little diary. I have a diary and I actually write them down and I write down what I'm doing. I am selling a put for the 22,000 strike price at $400 per Bitcoin. I sold 5 mini contracts. So I made $20 in profit. My percentage return is this. Like write it out like a paragraph, like prose, because then you'll be able to go back and you'll see what your mindset was. I even say why. Why did I sell this one? Well, I think the market's going to do this. I think you want when you're paper trading, it's not just to record the trades, it's to record your mental state when you made the trades so that you can go back and audit your performance and see if your thinking was correct. Does that make sense? You want to make sure that your thinking was correct, because as you guys get more currency units, look, this time next year, you're not going to be doing this with one mini contract or whatever. Many of you are going to be doing this with 2, 3, 4, 18 Bitcoin. Because you had probably made a bunch of money in the altcoins, in the alternative assets, and you may have pushed some of that back into Bitcoin, may have, or other assets that have options markets. So you want to understand and make sure that your methodology is spot on. And the only way to do that is it's not just tracking the trades to see if you won or not. You need to track the methodology behind the trades. And that's a mental thing. Okay, let me officially open the broadcast. We've been just kind of waxing philosophic for a minute. So if you get put into BTC, then the next week you would sell a call option. Yes, that's exactly right. That is correct. Correctement. Parfaitement. Okay, let me do just like an actual, since we never even opened the show, let me do an actual opening. We'll be right back. And then we will get started on the content. But yeah, Q&A is important. We got to do our Q&A. You guys got Q's. I got A's. Q&A's. Be right back. Okay. So before we get into portfolio balancing, let's take a look at the markets. Just a quick story of what's going on. So you can look from the 30-day back. Things are starting to look more green. The green is starting to bleed into the 90 days. A lot of these little bugs are getting back their steam. So Bitcoin, it touched 24 this morning. It's 24. It's up 17% on the 30-day. So 17K, at least for now, seems like it may have been the low in this contraction. So we'll see. Remember, we were almost 70,000 not even a year ago. It was last November. So keep that in mind. We're going into a lot of upgrade cycles. Ethereum's going to an upgrade cycle. It's up almost 61% on the 30-day. Nothing's changed. Ethereum is still the token that everybody is using for NFTs and that most people use for sketchy companies. A lot of those sketchy companies are getting sanctioned. Now, will they be able to successfully upgrade? We don't know. But will they be able to hype the upgrade going into the merge, which is the week of September 19th, assuming they don't punt that? Yes. Is Ethereum likely to go higher on the aggregate? What's our weak assumption? Our weak assumption is that Ethereum goes higher into the merge, and we're probably going to sell a little bit of that. On the other side of it, there may be a contended hard fork, a contentious hard fork. So those of you with Ethereum may end up with a hard forked Ethereum, an extra token called ETHW. Now, the way you get it, when you get it, the distribution of that and what it's going to be worth. Right now, ETHW futures are trading at about $100 a token. Meaning, for every Ethereum you have, you'd probably get $100. Is that a lot? Well, no, not really. It's like 6-7%, but still better than a stab in the eye with something that you would stab someone in the eye with. Well, cool. The problem is if you get 6 or 7% on the ETHW token, but Ethereum itself after the merge sells off down to 14, 15,000, you definitely gave away many hundreds. So what I think probably the smart play is when we get towards the merge, Ethereum gets frothy and foamy and everyone's woo, woo, woo. I probably start selling into that. As that approaches, we will have a couple of different game plans. So we're about a month out. So about next week, we're going to really start talking about how to game this. But the way I'm thinking is I'm going to probably lighten the load of about half my Ethereum going into the merge. So the week before, when everybody's like, woo, woo, I'm out of half, not all of it, because Ethereum is it's a staple asset. Now, the other thing you could do, the other way you could do that is by buying some puts. And that gets in a little gambly, but it's a cheaper way to do what I'm trying to do, basically to buy some insurance underneath. And that might be the best play. And while I don't like buying options because that's a degen play, because 90% of options expire worthless, it might be worth it for me to give back 3-4%, to lock in the top, so to speak, maybe a month, 2 months out, so that if Ethereum sells off, or if they kick the can down the road and don't do the upgrade, or any of the ifs that could happen with Ethereum and this upgrade, which doesn't mean much, by the way. It converts to proof of stake. It fires a bunch of the miners, but it doesn't do much for Ethereum. It's just one of 5 steps. Probably it's going to be years before Ethereum 2 comes out. But finally, I think people will see that. And let me get you a link. Cruising on Crypto. I mean, I think it's been in the chat a few times. Hold on. I'm getting it. We are live. Bang. That should be. See if that's the correct link. That should work. We'll see. So hopefully that link works. Okay. So this is what we're. Yeah, it's still free money. Yep. So the way I look at it is we buy some puts. This is the way I'm forming it now. This may change, but we buy some puts. That way we get the best. We get the free tokens if the tokens exist. I would immediately sell half of those tokens, put that money in your back pocket. Yay, yay, yay. It's a win. You might also take half of that and redistribute it into other assets that you think have a greater chance of moving up. Okay, that's the Ethereum play. Right now, that looks like the smartest of all the plays if you game theory it out. To give a little back, we've made a bunch. Look, you made 8%, almost 9% today. If we end up at a $2,500 or a $3,000 Ethereum pre-merge, so what if we give 5% back and we made 75 or 110 or 120% on the run-up? Like, so what? Okay. Because that would kind of protect our downside and it would give us the best of both worlds. We'd probably at least break in on the free tokens, break even on free tokens, maybe better. Cardano, that's a different story. We don't have to worry about a contentious hard fork. There is a test net of the Vassal hard fork. They're testing, they're cleaning, there's some code debt. Yay. That looks like it's getting cleaned up. That looks like it's ready to go. It has not run the way a lot of these other assets have run. It also didn't get punished as much as Ethereum. But there is a good chance that this thing starts to move pretty handily. A lot of institutional money, other than Mark Cuban's dummy self, a lot of real institutional money is starting to pay attention to Cardano. And there's just a lot of synergies between Cardano and what Singularity Net's doing and what NewNet's doing. All this stuff is starting to kind of seep together. Cardano is going to a few years from now, people will look back with a fond, very visceral regret for not having been involved in Cardano. You'll see. We will all see. And again, there's no crystal balls, there's no certainties, there's just percentages and statistics, and we make a lot of assumptions, and we hope that those assumptions are somewhat valid. Okay. That's the buying puts. Yes, that's the put buying scenario with ETH, assuming that we're going to get the other token on the other side of it, and that makes up for the put and also gives us some exposure to the token selling off, where we'd make money if the token sells off. We have the other token if the token sells off. Whereas if we just lighten the load, if we just sold, well, just selling would mean that we wouldn't get the free tokens that may or may not even exist. There may not be a hard fork, but I think there will be. And so assuming that there's going to be a hard fork, we get more money by holding Ethereum, holding Ethereum, buying puts to protect our downside, getting the free token. And if Ethereum doesn't sell off, which we know it will, but if it doesn't, we still have the free tokens that we got from the fork situation. So it's the greater bad scenario. It's the leper with the most fingers, so to speak. Would I sell calls against ETH? Well, you could, matter of fact, you could sell out of the money calls to cover the puts. That gets into the deep weeds of it, but you could do that. Matter of fact, we could look at a scenario like that in a second, because with Ledger X, you can trade options, not just on Bitcoin, but on Ethereum as well. Kind of cool. So that's a good question. And I mean, I hold my Ethereum right now on, Nexo because I get a fat reward from it. I'm getting like 5%. I don't trust having my Ethereum locked up in the Ethereum 2 contract because I don't know when that's going to come or if that's going to come. So that's one that I'm kind of like, I'm kind of iffy on. So we'll see. But yeah, so that's another way you could do it. There's a lot of ways you can express your trading idea, right? So what you do is you formulate an idea. There are many ways to express it, and you just have to go through the list and go, what is the best? There's no perfect scenario because we don't know the future, but what's the best of the imperfect scenarios? And that's what game theory is. It's reducing it to math and making the best imperfect decision we can make. Can't chat on YouTube says I need to create a channel to chat. No, as long as you have a YouTube account, and Gino, you can chat right here. Listen, you can still chat in the Digital Heavyweights chat. That's just fine. I got them both open, so no problem there. And let's see. Brett asks, is there any idea when Nexo will be able to offer rewards against again to new? Okay, Nexo is just trying to make sure they stay within the realm of regulatory scrutiny. Nexo is the only one of these lenders that's actually a legit lender, as far as I understand. They're the only ones working with regulators. As far as I understand, we know Celsius didn't do it. We know Three Arrows didn't do it. We know most of these other ones, BlockFi, none of them did it. We know that Nexo appears they are doing it. And so they're just trying to not get in trouble. And so for any of you that are stuck, you're not allowed to offer comments. If you've logged into YouTube, you can. However, if you don't want to do that, if you just want to watch the show and then do your Q&A, feel free to ask your questions in the Digital Heavyweights chat. That's what we got it for. So that should be cool. All right. Let's see. Frank says, I had my ETH on Nexo, but being in New York, I had to move it. Now it's on Celsius. No. Frank, if it's on Celsius, you're not going to see it for several years. Although on the good side, you're forced to hodl. That's probably going to be worth, it's probably going to be 8,000 a coin before you ever see it again. So yeah, God, going from Nexo to Celsius is not a trade I would have recommended. I wish you had contacted me first. I would have told you to stay away from Celsius. I've been screaming that Celsius was rigged, was just a bad play forever. Anyway, I put some of my ETH in Ben Gortzel's Dynaset. Okay, remember, that's not Ben Gortzel's Dynaset. All right, Ben Gortzel is SingularityNet. Singularity DAO is not Ben. That's Marcelo. That's Mario. That's that team. Ben is kind of the co-head. Well, he's the head of SingularityNet. He and David Hansen of Hansen Robotics, and they are Sophia and one of the vertical companies that launched underneath SingularityNet, but it's run by Marcelo and Mario. So understand that that's Ben's not the one flipping switches over at Singularity DAO. However, I think your Ethereum is in good hands if it's in a Dynaset. Is it okay to I'm guessing, Carlos, you mean to keep your ETH on Coinbase? Sí. Puedes poner su Ethereum en Coinbase y creo que there's security there, pues no hay problemas. Mira, you can keep your Ethereum on Coinbase. I think it's safe. I think Coinbase is safe. I think Coinbase is fine. Because look, if Coinbase doesn't make it, nothing makes it. This whole thing's blown up. It all goes away. Like so Coinbase, está bien Coinbase. puedes dejar sus tokens allá. Hay varios partes de Coinbase que ellos pueden pagar staking rewards. Por ejemplo, Algorand y hay 6 o 7 diferentes tokens que ellos están pagando cada día, daily, weekly rewards. So anyway, you can look on there. Yeah. But yeah, Carlos, take a look. Now, you're going to find a lot of places to put any of these tokens. But if they make you feel at all uncomfortable, open up a MetaMask account or get a hardware wallet and put your assets on the hardware wallet. It's not worth any amount of staking rewards if you lose your stuff. You also have to weigh in that it could be difficult to kind of psychologically maintain these assets if you are not used to kind of hiding passphrases and doing all this kind of stuff and having a good kind of security mindset. It may be better for you to leave your tokens on Coinbase. Does that make sense? So private, secure hardware wallets, cold storage, it all sounds great, but it's not realistic for everyone. If you're someone that statistically loses your stuff on a regular basis, might not be for you. You have to be realistic with yourself, right? So there's always trade-offs. Okay. Yeah, it is, Frank, but we'll just learn from the mistake. Listen, I promise you, I've lost more. Man, I told you the other day, I sent like somewhere between 8 and it's either 6 or 12 or 8 and 16 Ethereum into hyperspace on an ICO a few years ago. Never getting that back. I have almost 6 or 7, just shy of 7 Bitcoin lost in Cryptopia. They keep saying they're going to give us that money back. Who knows if I'll ever see that again. So when you're feeling like you're having a bad day and you've thrown some money into hyperspace, we've all thrown some money into hyperspace. So hopefully you'll learn from my mistakes. So if you feel bad, just go, oh yeah, Nick's thrown about $1 million into hyperspace. Yep. Not $1 million, $500,000. Poof, gone. It is what it is. Recently got your engrave. Nice. The engrave is awesome. Awesome. Matter of fact, you can't see it. It's mine is back there. It's on. Oh, wait, what shelf? It's beneath my it's beneath my Beeple. My Beeple. Them's my Beeple. Okay. Let's keep going. How much of your assets are in cold or hard wallets and how much is on exchanges? Well, I have about 10% on exchanges. I count Nexo as an exchange, and about 90% are staked directly with the protocols through a melange of MetaMask and other wallets. And remember, right now, MetaMask is Matic and Ethereum assets, right? You have to make sure that the wallets, not all wallets are for all assets. Every protocol is different. So you have to be very careful. MetaMask is not an omnibus wallet for all assets. It's Ethereum assets and Matic. That's all. But Matic has its own wallets. Cosmos Station are wallets for Cosmos, Adam. Daedalus is a wallet for Cardano assets. Polkadot, they all have their own kind of system. Meaning it's like Samsung and Apple. You can't, if you have a Samsung device, it's not just going to run all of your apps for Apple. You don't want to be, it's not the same. All right. Okay. Waiting for your engrave. You're going to love it. Yeah, we've all lost some. It is what it is. It's part of but you know what? You're so early that you could lose everything and start over today with $0 and you'll be fine. Okay. You'll be absolutely fine because this thing hasn't expanded yet. Let's see. Please do. Okay. So L11 asks, please do a LedgerX sell Bitcoin calls or how to convert Bitcoin on LedgerX into cash. Well, that's easy. You can immediately, let me go through the rest of this and let's do a little bit of walkthrough on LedgerX to make sure everyone knows just some basics. Okay. Polkadot keeps running. Look, it's up 7. It's up 7 on the 90-day, 40. Let's keep it to the month. It's up 40%. So if we saw our lows about a month ago, Look at the return that you got by dollar cost averaging. You did great. Okay. Ethereum Classic, the only reason we're tracking it is because it's one of the tokens that the mining community could turn to. I don't think they will be. I think this is flawed logic. I think these people are going to get beat up on this trade. I think this thing is going to sell off fast. I just don't know when. So do not buy Ethereum Classic. It's just something we're tracking. Near, it's almost at $6. It's up 72% from the lows. I don't know how much, how many times we have to say, but this is a solid quality product. Near is right now as a protocol, everything that Ethereum 2 wants to be. Everything. It checks all the boxes right now, this second. It is a Coinbase venture, mostly Coinbase Ventures. You don't think Coinbase is going to push this thing hard when they get a chance? It's not even listed on Coinbase. They are heavy. This is their Ethereum. I think it's going to do quite well, and it was up at $20. It's still cheap. $6 is still cheap. Cheap. I wish I had a cheap bird, like a little bird for cheap. I don't have that bird, but it would be cool. All right. Flow. This is as close to layer 1 you're going to get in the NFT space. The NFT space, it's gross and ugly and distorted right now, but it won't be forever. So Flow is cheap, man. And I was buying this at like $30-$40. So no, not 40, like 35, 33, 32, whatever, in that range. And I think I just bought at like $2, right around $2. No, you know what? Was it 2? I'd have to look. It might have been like 2.25. I'd have to look. But anyway, I just started buying this about a week ago, and we were talking about it. It's at the bottom, man. And they have tons of cash. So you look at the melt value of a company, they're going to do just fine. Ooh, nice. Good play, Brett. So here's what I would do. When you get to $7, I would trim down your position where you're on the house's money. Okay. Now, do I think in the long term Near is going to go? Yes. But right now we want a balanced portfolio. These assets, you need to own these assets. You don't want to just choose a winner. You want to index into all the layer 1s. Okay. And so if this is day 1, you'd say, okay, I have $10. $5 is going to go into layer 1s. And of that $5, I'm going to evenly disperse it through Algorand, Cosmos, Near, Matic. Avalanche is a maybe for me. I'm not completely sold on it. But Polkadot, Cardano, Ethereum. You must have these. These are the must-haves in your portfolio. You must have Ethereum, Cardano, Polkadot, Matic, Near, Cosmos, and Algorand. Must have. That's your exposure. That's your own index into the infrastructure that the future is going to be built on. Okay. So now how would you expand that? I would go Flow for NFT exposure. Then you start looking at AI. And by the way, Algorand still hasn't really moved yet. Notice it's the laggard. Look where it's down. It's down 58%. 58% still down. Matic still down on the year. 17%, although we're at 93 cents. Polkadot down 53%. Cardano still down 65, 66%. So it's pretty clear where next money should go. Boop, boop. Boop, boop, right? Then as we start to look at AI, this brings us down. We're looking at AGIX. We're looking at NewNet, Singularity DAO. For distributed data, we're looking at Filecoin, and we're looking at Fetch. Still not even 10 cents. This thing was like $1.20. You guys remember? It was like $1.20. This is a quality project. It's down 75%. Singularity DAO down 78%. Matrix AI is a dumb, spammy dumpster fire coin, but we just do it to track kind of whimsy. We use it to track whimsy in the AI space. AGIX at 5 cents. It was at 66, 65, 67 cents. So it's got an embedded 10, 11, 12x in it. And remember, you own AGIX, and as long as you register and jump through the little hoops, you get up to, they take 5% of every new project. They gave away 5% of all the Singularity DAO tokens. They gave away 5% of all the new net tokens to the owners and holders of Singularity Net. So if there was one that you're looking at in AI, that's the one. And then we have Looks Rare token, which is an NFT play against an NFT exchange. And as you'll note, we talked about this thing fluctuates up and down 20, 25%. Should it be? No. Is there any value here? Not a lot, right? They're not competing with OpenSea, not really. But the token does move, and you can take advantage of that. This thing gets around 30 cents, 28 cents, and then it goes back up to 40, 45 cents, and then it goes right back down. It's all whimsical trading. I do not think there's a lot of value here, long-term value, but I do think that as it gets down in these lower ranges, it's very tradable. Look, let's take a look at it. Let's go the last 90 days. It's pretty easy, and this is when it was 58 cents, but look, bang. Okay, so we have kind of like an obvious line. Like, you don't have to be a genius to see this. Okay, kind of an obvious line around 40 cents. 45, 47 cents. Okay, at like the tops of that range is like 43 cents. And then it goes 18, but about 20, 32 cents, 28 cents, 28 cents, 28 cents, 33. You see? So it's kind of, and of course, the slow recovery of the market is going to be a slow recovery of the trend line. I'm not telling you guys to chart trade. All I'm telling you is, if you're someone that's a degen and you have to trade, there are probably worse assets to trade. Okay. I don't want anyone trading because I think it's degenerate behavior and you don't need it. But if you have to, you have to. Is SHIB ever going to do anything? I don't imagine it will, Tim. The problem is the team at SHIB is weak. What they're doing is weak. It's a meme coin of a meme coin. That is weak squared. Short of a cure for cancer, I don't know anything they could do to help to make the world a better place. I just don't see it happening. You bought over 400 flow at 2. Okay, so in the future, and this is for everyone, I would not tell people exactly what you bought. I would have said, hey, I bought some coins at 2.62 and then stake them. Yes, I have flow staked over at Kraken as well. So you're doing well. And that's probably going to be a great trade. I would probably trim that trade down. But see, the thing is, this is a token that could very easily 10 or 15x. Easily. And keep in mind that the NFT market of the future is that NFTs are going to be replacing paper documents. Every piece of paper you have, every legal document, coupon ticket, airline ticket, plane ticket, concert ticket, every piece of effing paper is likely to be stored in a digital way. There'll be some digital unique token representing that. Last will and testament, mortgage document, loan documents, your car lease, all of that stuff, because you need to store that stuff, and keeping it on paper in old file cabinets is stupid. It's incredibly old school. It's aged out. We are digital. It is what it is. And we can't trust our data to a couple of clouds run by a couple of companies with, less than scrupulous individuals. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So is SHIB ever going to do anything? Unlikely. Why Flow could make a big move? Well, distributed data. It's important. Thoughts on Mana? I don't think that the future of Web3, and I don't think that the future of the metaverse is going to come from the crypto space and go to the main kind of world. I think it'll come from the main world and then they'll attach crypto stuff. So Decentraland has like 100 people a day using it. That's weak. And so, is there room for improvement? Sure. I just think it's overpriced. I think the rage to buy land in Decentraland and Sandbox and all that stuff was a mostly ridiculous play. Now, early people made some money. I made money on the token, but I never participated in real estate because I just don't think it's going to come in that direction. I think what Web3 will look like it's not going to start at Decentraland. It's not going to start at Sandbox. It's going to start at like Meta or Google or Apple even, and work its way. It'll matriculate the other direction. Regarding AGIX rewards, are they based on? No, they're just based on your ownership of AGIX. If you own the tokens and they're on a private wallet, not on an exchange. If it's on an exchange, technically the exchange owns it. Okay. Is Brave good? Yes, Brave browser is good. Is the token good? Nope, because it's not necessary. When you ask yourself why token, it doesn't survive that question. Jim asks, how do you think the general market will be affected when the MT Gox is settled? I think the market's going to get punished. I think Bitcoin is going to get absolutely flummoxed. I've been talking to some hedge fund guys I know, and I said, can you guys just set up a big pile of money and come in and gobble up all those tokens when they hit? If that's the case, maybe they can absorb it. But man, when Bitcoin was 21, 22,000 a few weeks ago, a month ago, it took only a 650 Bitcoin sale to push the price down to 17,000. So keep that in mind. So if it takes 600 tokens to nuke this market, what are 15,000 tokens? Those people, a lot of those people are rich, man. And they've seen this. They've been waiting for 8-9 years to get their money. I think they should sell and get the F out and go buy a house and be happy. And when they sell, a good 10, 15,000 Bitcoin are going to hit this market. It's the way they hit the market that could be nasty. But I think most of the nastiness will be on the news. Also, they're not going to release all those tokens. They're probably going to drip release those. It's probably going to be they'll have an account and they're going to say, okay, we're going to fund your account over a certain amount of time. It could be 20% 5 times. It could be 50% twice, 33% 3 times. You get it. There's going to be some distribution schedule. We will then be able to work out through some napkin math what that distribution schedule, what the impact on the market's going to be. And then some of these big institutions like BlackRock can step up, hoover up some Bitcoin at a discount. So my guess is it's going to be a little bit of nastiness. And that's why I don't feel real comfortable I don't think we can call a bottom. We could still melt up just through macro factors, right? We could still melt up and then get nuked again. So I hope we melt up. I hope we're at 40,000 Bitcoin before these things drop. But my guess is we're not. We're probably in the low 30s, if anything. And that'd be great. It would still help us a little bit, but it could push us right back down to 20, even 15K. And then you have other things, MicroStrategies is no longer solvent at that point. And you have some other kind of ancillary risk. But luckily, the big baddies are gone. 3 Arrows is gone. Celsius is gone. Voyager gone. I mean, for the most part, Voyager gone. They opened up distributions for some people so people could grab some coins back. But for the most part, the baddies are gone. The bad behavior is gone. UST is gone. Luna is gone. The dummies are mostly gone. Mostly. There'll be a whole new slew of dummies. Never you mind. I will, and luckily I'll keep you away from these dummies. So there we go. Why am I ringing? What's ringing? Ding. Okay. Frank, any chance New York will let us? Yes, they will. They're trying to be safe on your behalf, which sometimes that's kind of frustrating. But you may use VPNs and set up other exchange accounts in other places and things like that. Thoughts on Link? It's a useless token. It's a useless token. It's kind of expensive, and oracles themselves are not all that interesting. And this is evidenced by the fact that the developers and the founders sell their tokens, all of them, as fast as possible. And that's really bad behavior. And so the team perspective is weak. Their bench is weak. Their insider buying behavior and selling behavior is weak. And why token? Ain't no reason. There's no reason for the Link token to exist. So to me, that's not good. Where can I buy Near? You can swap into it on Nexo. You can buy it on KuCoin. You can buy it on Gate. You know what? I don't know, but someone was telling me either Binance.us or potentially Kraken. I'd have to check on that. I'm not sure. But if you want to know, you can go here. You can go on Live Coin Watch. You can find the token that you like. Click on it. This is kind of a fun thing. You can also do this through CoinMarketCap. And if you scroll down, you'll look at the markets. So you'll see near markets. There's like tons of them, right? So you'll see the most liquid, BKEX, Binance, Bing, XT. These are all the main markets. You can go next to page 2. Huobi, CoinTarget, MCX, Gate. It's on Gate. You can go to the next one. Binance, FTX. And that's a US, that looks like a US market. Binance.us. There you go. I'm not a fan of FTX because I think it's pretty sketchy, but you do have Binance.us. You have KuCoin. So there you go. But anyway, that's kind of how that works. Cool? Yay. All right, let's go back to our portfolio. Okay, cool. Cool, bro. Cool. All right, so I hope that helps. Can you put Bitcoin on Nexo and collect rewards? Yes, you can. You can, Jen. So that's cool. Do we think, Ray Limo asked, do you think token recovery will be possible through Etherscan in the future? Yeah. So look, if you've sent tokens somewhere and they've disappeared, Etherscan allows you to track those. Now, Etherscan would not recover your tokens, but you would use the transaction ID and the data from Etherscan, send it to the exchange, and they can locate your tokens, right? They don't want your money floating in hyperspace any more than you do. What is Vive? No, I don't even know what that is. Andy, I don't know what it is. I'm not saying it's bad. I don't know what it is. Is MetaMask a private wallet? Yes, it's a private wallet. But remember, do not ever expose your keys to anyone else. Everyone wants to steal your stuff. Okay. Brave has a wallet. Yeah. Nope. Nope. Do you think voting will ever go digital? Yes, that's what Cardano's working on, virtual voting. Matter of fact, they already have digital voting through Catalyst, where we vote to fund different programs based on our tokens. Those give us votes, and we can use those to vote about future projects that get funded. So it's already happening. Let's see. How about the others coins? Jim, you gotta tighten up that question for me, buddy. Okay, Near is on Kraken. If Near is on Kraken, ladies and gents, do it on Kraken. And yes, and you can stake your Near directly with Near, meaning you don't have to use these exchanges. You can get a Near address. You'll get it like mine's like nicholasblack.near. And people actually, you can send your Near to that address. It's really cool, but I'm getting great rewards. I also have some Near over on Nexo because you can swap into it, and I'm getting pretty good rewards over there. Just saying. But yes, you have Kraken, and they may, I don't know if they do staking on Kraken, but they may, but you can stake your Near directly to Near. Okay. Is LedgerX part of the FTX exchange? LedgerX is now owned by FTX, but it's not part of it. It's a separate business entity. Brave Wallet is good. No, I don't use Brave Wallet. I don't have any mistrust in Brave Wallet. It's just I just don't want another wallet. Okay. And so cool. Yes, MTGOX settlement. Yeah, I think a lot of the tokens are going to get punished. Where Bitcoin goes, so does everyone else, at least right now. Where there'll be a replay of this session. Here's the cool thing. You guys have this link. This link is for you guys in perpetuity. So yeah, you have it. This link will always get you, once this is no longer live here in a few minutes, you'll be able to come back to this at any time and watch it. It's an unlisted show, meaning other people won't get, like, I have like 4,000 subs on this channel. None of them are watching this show. They don't get this. This ain't for them. This is for y'all. This is just for the digital heavyweights. Okay. David, Nick, I just joined a week or so ago. Is there a way to break down the portfolio by layer 1 AI infrastructure and then assign? Yes. And we have done that. As a matter of fact, why don't if you give me just a second. Okay. Last time didn't load. Let's see. This is our artificial intelligence index. You guys remember that? We talked about AGIX, Singularity DAO, NewNet, Fetch, and Filecoin. Right now, that's kind of our, let me go, the drawing. Let me see, what was this? Let's open this one. This is this is just our infrastructure portfolio. So these were the percentages that I was doing as of, like a month ago. But the total would equal 50% of your total portfolio. And I had it and these are percentages, 25%. Like if we had $100, so that way it keeps it in percentages, right? 25% was Cardano. And this is where you have to weigh them based on your desire, like what you like and what you don't like. I happen to be a little bit more bullish Cardano right now and slightly more bullish near Algorand and Matic than I am Cosmos, although Cosmos is doing some cool stuff, Ethereum and Polkadot. But this would represent 50% of your portfolio. Does that make sense? That should be a little bit bigger. Hold on. Let me make that bigger for you guys. Okay. So, and hopefully you guys can see that. Oh, you know what? Let me just get your question just for a second, just so we can see it. Okay. So this is what I'm looking at, Cardano right now, and you don't have to do this. I'm not telling you that these should be your portfolio. And no, Brian, Bitcoin is not infrastructure because Bitcoin is not a layer one. It's not a protocol. Bitcoin is a store-ish of value. It would take the place of what probably gold would take the place on your portfolio. Kraken doesn't have staking for near. Stake mine in the near wallet. Yes, there you go. Well done. So that's your play. That's your near play. Okay. So anyway, Cardano for me is 25% of my infrastructure. Now, infrastructure represents 50% of my portfolio. So in this imagining, I have $200 in the market, 100 into infrastructure, and this is how that is displayed. Cardano, Matic, Algorand, Near, Cosmos, Ethereum, and DOT. Now, you could go even Steven all the way down. Matter of fact, that's probably a better way to do it. If you have 7 assets, they should all represent what, 14 and change percent? All the way down. Cool? Cool beans? All right. When did you, what did you type to get the portfolio? What did I type? No, I mean, this is just something that I wrote up. And so I think, Brian, Bitcoin could be represented about 20 to 25% of the total portfolio. So under this imagining of the $200 of our total portfolio, okay, $25 to $50 would be Bitcoin, $100 in infrastructure. And then that's going to leave us 25 to 50 bucks to put into AI, which I think should be 10%. And so that 10%, that's where we go over here. And that's going to be, oh, where was that? Did I save that last one? No. Oh, these are the ETH alternative plays. Oh, I wonder if I inadvertently threw that away. Let's see what this one is. No, here it is. Good. This is our AI index. So this would be, again, this is a 1 to 3 year plan. This is not a quick exit, but it's Singularity Net, Singularity DAO, NewNet, Fetch, and Filecoin. Cool. All right. So that sums up that. So that kind of gets us there. Let's do a quick few minutes looking at the options boards and see if you're light on Bitcoin, should you be adding there or move towards ADA? Anywhere you're light, you need to add. Anywhere you're light, you need to add. I don't want you guys guessing the markets. I want you guys, I'll help you negotiate the trends. You need to have balance in your portfolio. That's the main point for today. Balance in the portfolio, percentage balance. You focus on balance. Don't focus on guessing who's going to win tomorrow, next week. You just focus on balance. We're going to do fine. And these pages are not specifically set out because they do change a little bit, BitKitty. I would revert back to these videos. And again, I'm not telling you buy these tokens in these percentages. I'm showing you what I'm doing, and you've got to do what will let you sleep at night. Does that make sense? Because you have to sleep at night with your currency. This is what's worked for me, and I've gotten pretty good off of it. I've made many millions of dollars, many millions, by having a nice index approach to the most likely assets that will succeed. And so that's this approach. All right, let's go over to look at the opciones just for a second. Oh, get off my screen, stupid. Not you, not all of you. You guys are not stupid. No. This is expiring this week. Here's where we're at. The price of Bitcoin 24,000. Oh, and really quickly, you'll notice we can look at Ethereum the same way. Now, there are no weeklies here. They're just monthlies as we look at the different expirations, end of month. However, right now, we're closing in on 2,000. So if we were to buy the puts for, say, end of September, if they punted, that would give us the shortest amount of time to expiration. If they punted, $400 for Bitcoin. If we're a buyer, I'd probably, man, this looks like where I'd want to be. I might buy these. That's pretty cheap. So if I had 10 ETH, I'd probably spend $300 and lock in those 1250s. Of course, I wouldn't do it yet because as the price of Ethereum goes up, approaching the merge, these are going to deteriorate. The price is going to get less and less, and there's less time for the late Septembers to expire. Does that make sense? So these are going to get cheaper if the price of Ethereum keeps going up, right? My guess is you don't want to be buying anything August, again, for insurance sake. You don't want to be buying August. You want to be buying September or maybe October. And you got a little bit more time. It's not that much more expensive, but as the price goes up and let's say there's a punt, give you a little bit more time, especially if we get towards 3K, because that's going to be another 1,000. So subtract. So these are going to be dust. So we'd move those up incrementally. Anyway, we'll get there as we approach. We will for sure have what we think is the best trade going into the merge. So don't stress about that, but keep in the back of your mind. What would I be doing right now this second? Nothing. If you sold the 22s in and around 250, I go ahead and take I don't think we're going back to 22 this week in the next 2 days. Those probably expire worthless. But anytime you have a position, an options position, that's a 75% winner, take it off the table. You won, right? Do a victory lap. Take your money off the table. Listen, there's a lot. This is a very dense space. You guys get that. And that's why the digital heavyweights is a more cerebral, kind of educational, kind of a more academic approach to all of this stuff. It's just not easy. And it might make sense to listen to these videos over and over. Go back and listen to the replays, the Money Morning Live replays, even the public replays. Just absorb this stuff. That's really the only way you can get this. There's no quick way. It's like, show me the quickest way to learn particle physics. There is no quickest way to learn particle physics. You just gotta roll your sleeves up, get some paper out, and write stuff and read, and just be comfortable that this stuff doesn't make sense and be okay with it. If you're okay with it, you're gonna learn, but you're not gonna learn fast, but you're gonna learn enough. I'll help you with the near-term decision-making, but I want you to absorb this stuff. Does that make sense? No, we're not at 1,000. We are probably at around 600. So we got 400 to go. Oh, and real quick, I want to mention this because I had some people ask me. They said, hey, if we're doing the digital heavyweights, I had some people say, would you cut me a break on the consulting? So anybody that is a digital heavyweight that does want any more personal consulting, yes, I'll cut you a break on it. I think we're going to work something out where I'll end up crediting you back whatever you spent on the digital heavyweights. So like, cause my personal clients, they buy blocks of 5 hours at a time, and my corporates buy 40, right? So what I'll do is, for those of you that are buying a block, what you spent on your heavyweights, I will credit that against that so that you would not pay that. So in a way, if you ever decide, and this is certainly not an ad for that, because I got a lot on my plate, but if you're somebody that's like, dear God, man, I got to get a few hours. If you're a heavyweight, if you're one of the heavyweights and you have, let me know which program you got, and I will melt that back into any consulting time. So essentially, if you're one of my private consulting clients, you would get your heavyweight money will go back in your pocket. Okay. But again, I'm not asking. just because. But I do, sometimes people come at me and say, hey, listen, I need like direct attack on my portfolio. And then we would do that. All right. Because I want you guys to get a lot of stuff out of this, because my goal is to build up a pool of at least 1,000 of you. And if 1,000 of us all have some cash, we can go in and make very strategic attacks on certain assets. We can get in, I believe, before a lot of other people can. Plus, we have some negotiating power. I can go to some cool new project and say, hey, I got $1 million worth of capital coming your way in the form of 1,000 investors with $1,000 each. We could go in and do some cool tactical stuff. And I think, I've made most of my money by seeing stuff months to years before other people have seen it. Well, that's what we doing. And I think if we have a group of 1,000 capable investors, it'd be great to have more, but if we have 1,000 investors, that means we can be very tactical and we can have a very interesting strategy and approach unloved assets or underappreciated assets well before the market has figured that out. And we are taking profit. We would basically be our own little VC firm, wouldn't we? Our own little hive venture capital firm. So it's kind of this is my idea. So we need about 1,000 people to do that. The 1K power, right, Philip? It's just like, and there's something about having, plus Tom and I guess this is not really giving anything away. Tom and I, we're kind of like whispering this to the bosses when we were filming. We said, we could do like a cool event in, say, Tulum, Mexico, where we bring all these people in and we have, like, in the morning we talk like long-term investing, and in the evenings we talk like microcurrency and all sorts of cool like near-term. And so basically twice a day educational sessions, and then we're in Tulum in Mexico. That might be kind of fun. So that's something that we might look at, putting something like that together. Be kind of cool. Anyway, these are just all the kind of things we can do when we have some power. And right now, we got 600 people. We need about 1,000. So there you go. All right. When you fund Ledger X, do we do so for the 3 buckets? Oh, 5K free? Yeah, I mean, I would. But right now, David, until we've been paper trading, let's don't rush in to do that. Right? Don't rush in to fund anything. I want you guys to feel very, very, very comfortable. If you come in and Jin Zeus, it doesn't matter what amount of money you guys, I don't want you to think that there's a certain amount of money you have to invest or anything like that. That's not that. It's just you against the percentage. That's all we're trying to do here. You against the percentage. Okay? You against the percentage. So if you've been clocking 8, 6, 12%, and I can bump you up to 50 to 75% a year, I think the numbers are much higher. It's many X's. It could be 500, 2,000%. But you say those kinds of numbers and people are like, and they start being stupid. But you should very easily, very comfortably, if you're smart and you don't let emotions get in the way, you should be able to easily 50% a year in crypto. Easily. Most of you have gotten that in the last month. Those of you that started investing just recently, like when heavyweight started, you're all up 40% because the market's up 40%. Like you don't have a choice. So, and this is a function of the market. It's not a function of me. I didn't make this crap happen. It's just, we want to be able to take advantage of it with quality assets. That's what the whole point is. Okay. And yes, Ledger X, Kip is right. Ledger X right now only has options on Bitcoin and Ethereum. They also have futures, but don't mess with the futures. Yeah, you can lose your shirt and everybody else's shirt. Okay. That being said, let's call it a day. We will be, of course, live in the public room tomorrow, but this is for you guys. So there's two now videos. So you can choose to subscribe or not to the channel, but this channel now is exclusively for Money Morning Live videos, and that's it. It's Money Morning Live, and the digital heavyweights videos you get are just for you guys. That's not public. However, I do rebroadcast replays of the Money Morning Live through here. So you can either watch it through Money Morning Live, but I would always participate if you can. either in the digital heavyweights chat if you get a chance, or also in the Discord, because in the Discord we see questions all the time and we can answer questions all the time. So stay in school. Don't do drugs. Don't do anything my poor insolvent drunk, strung out on meth grandmother wouldn't do. And as you know, that's very little. We should see tomorrow. I guess tomorrow will be Eric, maybe Ryan, maybe Brandon. We don't know. We don't know who's going to show up. We know we will show up. And there will always be a show, even if we have like outages, this and that. This gives us a backup so that if there's anything weird, if we're doing upgrades, this and that, the digital heavyweights will always have a show. Even if I have to pre-record it or whatever, you will always get your brain goo every week. Consume it. And if you missed last week's, if you missed Sundays, I did one on Sunday, go watch it. It doesn't matter that the options change a little bit different. You want to absorb the net effect. Cool? Okay. Deuces. We'll see everyone tomorrow. Stay out of trouble. And if you have any specific questions, go to the Discord. And remember, don't ever disclose to anyone your private keys or passphrase, no matter who they say they are, no matter if you get I'm a Discord no admins, no nothing. Do not ever disclose your pass. Even if I call you, hey, listen, Jen, I need your passphrase. If I say, hey, Philip, man, just give me your passphrase, you say no. I would never ask for your passphrase. There's no reason I should have it, and there's no reason anyone else should have it. That's your stuff. Don't let your stuff get stolen. Don't let people steal your stuff. Pew pew.